What is up, everybody? My name is Nick, joined once again by my co-host, Matt. Welcome for better or worse. Just us right now. Krabs. Fuck, dude. Please excuse me. I'm recovering from blunditis. Had a bad case last night, so that's still trying to put that one together. All right, let's go. I had so much to talk about. Prepared for a back and forth. I'm here. What's up, MB? Let's just get into it. Let's talk about what
like, subscribe, retweet, comment, whatever. Anything to distract myself from how cold I am on the ice right now. So we're gonna get into some college football, and Nick's gonna show us the way. But there's not enough people in here right now for me. I want more people. Please retweet.
Maybe there would have been more people about 15 minutes ago. Just saying.
It's probably a good point. But retweet, retweet
do the whole shebang.
I'll make sure we're getting all the stuff in there.
But all right, the chalkboard and we'll get going. Let's just get into it. Let's talk about a couple things that I liked out of the gate. And yeah, we'll just go from there. What do you got up first on that little banners? All right, California minus 14.5. I'm completely rethinking this pick at this point because it's going versus a bad team, and I have the worst luck with bad team. Colorado is a bad team. It is bad. Bad. But, apparently every time I target a bad team overall, they put on their best performance of the year. Colorado's worst loss. They haven't won so far this year. Let's put that out, number one. Their worst loss was by 23. Their best loss, let's say their best loss was by 23. Just a really bad team. California can move the ball very well. It's all about fading a bad team. I got it on DK at minus 14.5. Everywhere else, it's 15.5. I don't hate it, but if you can get 14.5, why wouldn't you? That's, right? But there's no real difference as far as football number, but you never know, especially with kickers, man. You miss an extra point, and then you do this and that and this, and then you lose by, you only win by 15, and then you're crying. Just try to get the better number if you can. Let's go to the next one because I'm a little hot. Not in the right way.
Penn State.
No, not every team you should fade versus a bad team. It's just, we'll get into that later. Penn State at Michigan. This is another DK play. This is on DK only. Everywhere else has 23.5. First of all, this is going to be a great game, so I targeted. I think it's going to be wonderful as far as, overall Big Ten matchup. Strong defenses, good running games on both sides. Okay, so number one, so far Michigan starts out a little slow versus the Big Ten. They're only averaging 13 points in the first half. That's number one thing. I feel like Michigan's going to establish the run early, show that they're physical, especially versus Penn State team that hasn't really faced too much competition, but neither is Michigan. So, I'm not giving them too much credit. But I really just want to think – I really think they're going to start out physical. They do start out slow as teams overall. Good defenses on both sides. They're going to want to establish the run. 24.5, great number. I'm thinking that's the number to attack. It was like 26.5 earlier in the week, but take what you can. Again, that's on DK. Everywhere else is 23.5, and that's a big difference. Let's think about it, right? 3 touchdowns and a field goal. What's that equal? 24. Okay. So that's a little big different. It's a whole nother possession now you need in order to basically lose that bet compared to a 23.5. So guys, this is stuff you got to be thinking about. I know it's basics, but again, football numbers like that. First half under 24.5 is a play. Boom. System play. This is my new system play for the week. Taking over for Iowa. Illinois is a great defense. We saw that last week. They're now gotten even better. They only average 8 points against them on against that defense. Minnesota is getting their running back. Strong crosswinds. I do have an article coming out. Minnesota underrated defense, I think, as far as statistically. I think they have a much better defense than what the stats show overall. And Illinois, without their – first of all, that offense is awful. We saw that last week, even though that defense was good. And they're without they're supposed to be without their starting quarterback, which is the main part of their offense overall. I'm taking that huge point. Thanks for distracting.
I knew it would work.
I'm taking that as my system play under for the day. It should be fun, but at the same time not. That bet makes it fun. There you go.
There are 69 people in here right now. No one move.
No one leave. No one go. No one join.
No one join. Nobody leave.
Tapped. All right. What's up next?
Bang.
Boom. Duke at UNC. Both great offenses, both bad defenses. I mean, there's a lot I could say about this. Tar Heels have been absolutely rolling offensively. We talked about this earlier in the year when we bet them against and for them. They're rolling offensively. Defensively, they have been a little bit better overall. I mean, you couldn't get any worse than at the beginning of the year versus Appalachian State and so on, and like those other teams as well. It was bad. They were just trying to outshoot them every time, which is something what we're going to look for in the over. This is on FanDuel. It's at 67.5. Unfortunately, we don't have a 67 or better number, so it doesn't really matter if it's 67.5, 68, in my opinion. Go for either. That's fine. But again, Duke not as a good passing offense this year. Defensively, they haven't been great overall.
I don't know who Nick Merckx is, but I'm assuming he's
just a white guy, with a beard.
Not a compliment.
I don't know if it is. I
just want to scrub, dog.
Acceptable. But I expect and hope for an absolute shootout. If I had to pick a side, I'd also take UNC -7 with their improved defense. But I'd rather just take the total overall, hope for a bunch of points, and enjoy the game. Then sweat out that total and have something like a backdoor. That Air Force game last night. Ooh, we won't get into that. What do I got next?
You got the games you were going to talk about.
Yeah. Let's do it. Kansas at Oklahoma. This is where me and Krabs are going to go back and forth a bunch, but that's no problem. I'll just do it with myself.
I'll do it. Kansas, easily.
Shut up. All right. This seems like a total trap game. Kansas is probably out their starting quarterback, and Oklahoma is probably getting back their starting quarterback. Again, I haven't looked recently because I'm not even on the game as far as a side personally. But it just seems like a total trap. I do like Kansas as a team. If they had their starting quarterback, I'd be all over that side because Oklahoma's defense is suspect. They can't tackle. They're just awful this year. You can see that in the last couple performances. But again, Kansas, their whole offense revolves around their quarterback, the senior. He does well for them. Obviously, they're in the great position right now overall. But losing him at Oklahoma, with Oklahoma getting their quarterback back, it's just a trap game, in my opinion. I'm just staying away from the whole game. I'm definitely not betting Oklahoma -8.5 after I've seen what they're done on defense, and Kansas without their main weapon is just stay away.
My zero college football knowledge. Kansas is going to shock some people today. They're going to shock some people today. I see a plus 9.5. I think. +9. +9.5 on Bet Rivers. Don't tail that play, please. I do not know what I'm talking about.
Pull up the last message.
Which one? This one?
All right. Guys, I've seen this around. You can take it. It's a minus. So both these teams are, Matt, just so you're aware, they're like minus 15, both teams. If you combine money line in both of these, normally it's +1. It's minus 350. They're giving you +100 on FanDuel. I mean,
take that. That's my exclusive pick.
Nailed it. Congrats, Matt. Matt nailed it. That's Matt's exclusive play of the day. A FanDuel boost. No, for real. I mean, if it loses, it loses. But like, guys, it's a minus 350. You're getting at +100. It's good value. And you're getting 16 points each. Just in, Bryce Young is expected to start. So let's talk about that game right now. There was some line movement happening. It went from +7 Tennessee to +8.5. My expectations was that he was going to be starting. It wasn't actually money flowing on the other side. It was just Vegas expecting Bryce Young to play. What that does is a lot of things. You have no faith in Texas. I mean, they got their quarterback back there. Not bad. Pull up Tennessee and Alabama, Matt. So Tennessee defensively, especially in the secondary, not great, especially with Bryce Young back. That is a problem and a concern overall. Everybody's seen that dancing video, that guy from, they brought him in from that classic video back in the day where he's just scooting on the stage. Matt, tell me you know what I'm talking about.
No, absolutely not.
Oh, my God. I'll send it to you afterwards. It's great. That made me want to bet Tennessee. Nonetheless, yeah. Custom.
Fuck you, Brian.
Nonetheless, all right. Way too distracted today. Nonetheless, I'm staying away from this game as well. It seems like a total trap. If anyway, I would lean Tennessee +8.5 at home with that offense. Hendon Hooker, by the way, my preseason Heisman long shot. I don't know if you guys remember. I'll have to find the clip. Looking real good right now. He's in the top 4 overall. He was like +4,000 at the time. Because I had a good feeling that this offense, they have the weapons. They're explosive overall. They put up a crap load of points. Problem is their defense, especially in the secondary, like I said, versus Bryce Young being back, it's scary. And this Alabama team can turn it on. I know last week, they didn't have Bryce Young. That's their whole, the fact that they won is a little surprising. But I'm just staying away. Trap game. Oklahoma State at TCU. I really think this is a don't overthink it spot, in my opinion. What's the line currently? Hold on. It's kept moving around this morning, so I want to make sure. It's -4.5 currently on FanDuel. TCU, obviously. Let me check 4.5. So the line's currently 4.5. All play everywhere. I really want to say just bet TCU. Don't overthink it. This offense has been explosive. Defense can definitely contain them overall. Sanders on Oklahoma State, he's been good, but I don't know. I feel like there's one thing I want to look up.
What about the over?
The over is a decent play. Not gonna lie. I was reading a friend of mine's article on it. The over's at 68. 68.
That's a lot of points.
But they're both two top. So they're actually like two top 5 offenses. I don't give Oklahoma State enough credit. I mean, I'm going to be fair on that. I really don't. Defenses are suspect. Both quarterbacks are veterans overall. They put up a crap load of points. Sanders has 12 touchdowns and 2 interceptions and six scores on the ground. So, I mean, he is definitely killing it. it's one of those teams that I don't know. I just don't like betting on. But this is a game that I think is basically a pick 'em in my mind, maybe like a 2.5, 3.5. So I'm just staying away, if that makes sense. Sorry. This is supposed to be more of a back and forth. I had questions, but I'm not going to ask Matt questions because he sucks. So
college football is for pansies. Next up.
80 people trying to get college football plays. Okay, another game I just wanted to have a back and forth with as far as Mississippi State at Kentucky. The current line is plus 3.5 for Kentucky. That's the kind of way I want to go. Obviously, they lost last week to South Carolina, but they should be getting their quarterback back this week, which is huge overall. The real thing is, I think the Kentucky defense takes too many risks versus a team like Mississippi State that, obviously can really be explosive at times. It's just too risky for me. And then especially with Kentucky's quarterback coming back from injury, that's the way I would lean, but I'm not touching it overall. I'm just moving on.
First of all, Coach Cal puts a bunch of guys from Kentucky in the NBA every year. So if you think about it, how that cross sports to college football, and what you just said, under 50.5. They're not a football school.
No, shut up. It's oh my God. All right, next up.
Why not the under?
Next up.
Guys, Nick might kill me before this ends.
I know, he's the worst. Yeah.
I'm fucking terrible.
All right, next up. Come on. I'm trying to be done.
Wait.
Clemson at Florida State.
Nick wanted to talk about how bad Virginia was.
Yeah, they have a bye week. They are bad.
Oh, shit.
They are bad. Every episode I'll mention they are bad. Virginia, bad team. Clemson at Florida State. The line was stuck at minus 3.5 forever. I was writing up an article for Clemson. Don't overthink it. This team has great defense. Offense is starting to pick it up. Florida State tries to run the ball. This Clemson defense does well stopping the ball overall. And Florida State's offensive struggled, but defensive kept them in the games. I was ready to just hammer the 3.5. We're going to do a 1 unit on the minus 4.5 for Clemson because I'm late. I also thought about team total under for Florida State, but I didn't pull the trigger because I don't want to double dip in this game. I'm just taking Clemson minus 4.5 overall. Again, thought about team total under for Florida State, but I really think that these are two teams just going in opposite directions. Florida State started out hot, but really got exposed last week overall. And they're going against Clemson's strengths of their teams, which is their run defense. And that offense should take advantage of some of those defensive weaknesses for Florida State as well. Again, it's going to be a back and forth. Crab like to play on this. No worries.
Crabs loved it. Last one.
USC at Utah. Again, this is a game where it's just like I love Utah as a team, and it's just too biased. I'm just too biased. Great defense. They were one of my preseason favorites to win the conference overall. USC obviously has been explosive, but has some letdown opportunities throughout the year. I think either team could win this outright at 3.5. I would lean Utah, but I'm not touching the game. I know he had an opinion on it, but I'm not touching it. Guys, what questions do we have?
Yeah, any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you, Scrub Dog. Another reason why I wouldn't take Tennessee. Let's do a quick recap. If you guys want to start loading in your questions, you can go ahead. California minus 14.5 on DK versus Colorado. We're targeting a bad team. Hopefully they don't have their best performance of the year. Colorado, okay, a little scary, guys. A little scary. Colorado, first game without a head coach. It's more of I think their roster is so bad, but it's a little, I hate betting after a coach gets fired because it's either going to go one way or the other. it's going to be, the team's going to really bounce back and put on a great performance, or they're going to completely collapse. It's just so unpredictable. Again, DK number, Penn State at Michigan, first half under 24.5. On DK, 24.5 is an important number. Minnesota at Illinois, or I don't know where it's under 39.5. System play right there. UNC, Duke, over 67.5.
And that was it. And you got a bunch of.
Well, we're taking Clemson minus 4.5, and we're taking. Go back. Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Did I say? I'm so confused. This whole episode got so jacked up when. Yeah, it's everywhere. DK has 14.5 last time I checked. Let's see right now. It's 15. Yeah. Again, it doesn't matter that much. As far as that, Coastal Carolina. Why do I remember that name? Coastal football. Oh, versus ODU. That's why I haven't looked it up, because I can't bet the game. It is ODU is a Virginia team, so they don't even show up on my lines or anything like that. I don't even know what the line is, to be honest. So I couldn't give you an opinion. Again, ODU is a Virginia team, so they don't even show up in the books, unfortunately. Bryce Young, 300 yards passing or 3 touchdowns. I mean, either one against Tennessee. Yeah, I mean, for the odds, sure. Plus 300, it's not bad, but I mean, the Bama one would either side could, no. I would say no.
We got some more here. Oh.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. The jail.
All right. Guys, thanks again for joining us. One more time, Matt, so I can remember the plays. Just so anybody that didn't join. California, it's minus 15 now on DK. I'm fine with that. Versus Colorado. Penn State, this is on DK, under 24.5 first half. Under 24.5 on DK. Illinois, under 39.5 versus Minnesota. System play, bad defenses. I mean, bad offenses, good defenses, blah, 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 blah. UNC, Duke, over 67.5. Clemson, minus 4.5.
And that's all you got.
That's all I got. I'm so back and forth on this TCU game, but I'm not going to take it. I'm not taking it, but I'd lean TCU. Guys, thanks for joining us once again. What's the most confident play? I really don't know. I kind of like a couple equally. I would say either Clemson or or the Penn State at Michigan under 24.5. Those would be my most confident plays. But again, 1 unit for me on everything today. Bet responsibly. Best of luck. We will see you again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Deuces.
Hold on. We got to say this to our people. I'll take it off.